Shalom. Before I get started, I'm going to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well. And peace and safety to the Akim that's around the four corners of the world that's pushing out this truth, giving our diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. The brother Karas is out here at the GMS Atlanta camp, here with a lesson going in on the topic of what's your main focus. You know, which our main focus should be prophecy. You know, pushing out these prophecies, you know, that we see throughout the scriptures and linking throughout the current events that's happening in the world and linking them up with the scriptures. You know, just like we have Iran, you know, testing these nuclear missiles. You know, that's a prophecy that's being fulfilled, that's in the scriptures. You know, and you know, that should be, you know, our main focus, you know, while we're in the truth, is pushing these prophecies, not the followingness of America, you know, going out, you know, clubbing, you know, putting your family, your kids, or your wife before the truth, you know, or anything, basically putting the truth first, you know, because ultimately that's going to be our salvation, and scripture speak about the saving of the household. You know, so those have to be our main focus in order to receive salvation. You know, we have to be willing, you know, to dig into these prophecies. But without further ado, I'm going to start with 1 Corinthians 7 and 29. It says, "But I say this, brethren, that the time is short." So it says, "But I say." It says, 1 Corinthians 7 and 29, "But I say this, brethren, that the time is short." You know, we are at the end of the end. You know, we read Matthew the 24th chapter. It said, "These shall be the beginning of the sorrows." You know, we hear the wars, you know, and the rumors of war. You know, we hear North Korea testing the nuclear missiles. You know, we see Iran, you know, not what's the word I'm looking for? Not closing down their nuclear testing site. You know, these are rumors of wars. You know, that we're that link up with the scriptures. You know, so like. You see the sicknesses and the plagues that's going on throughout the world. You know, going back to Revelation the 16th chapter. The veils, the angels, the seven angels holding back the veils. You know, so these are the things that we see, which has given starting with the apostles and elders on down, giving us, man, the inclination that we're at the end. You know, it says that, I'll reread it. It says, "But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none." You know, so Paul was saying, you know, it's a bigger mission, you know, that is at hand. Why? Because your wives, you know, or your family members is not going to be the reason for your salvation. You know, you can love and care and do however much you want, you know, for your wife, but at the end of the day, these scriptures, you know, is what's going to be our salvation. You know, getting scriptures, Isaiah 33 and 6, which is really the most popular scripture there to me. You know, which is wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of that time. You know, it says both they that had wives be as though they had none. You know, and you see this, you know, certain brothers, you know, just particularly in this camp and the Atlanta camp, you know, they have wives, you know, kids, they have a family, but you see that they put the truth first, you know. Scriptures speak about if you forsake your household, you shall receive hundredfold, you know. So that's the main priority, you know, is getting doing the work of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, you know, just as Yahweh Shai did. Yahweh Shai didn't even have a wife or kids because he knew the importance of what he had to do. You know, he knew that he wouldn't have time, you know, to be, you know, a father or a husband. You know, he knew that he would have to sacrifice his life, you know, and that's what he did. You know, and Romans 12 chapter tell us to make our bodies a living sacrifice. You know, it says, verse 30, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not. You know, so we're not even really supposed to be, you know, in that rejoiceful spirit, man. You know, because the scriptures speak about this not being our home. You know, nothing in America should be really pleasing to a man of the Lord except for pushing out this truth. You know, because we understand what's the glory behind it. You know, it says, and they, as though they rejoice not, as though they possess not, and they that use this world as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away. You know, so of course, you know, we have to live, you know, in this society. We have to use certain things, you know, of the world for our advantage, such as, you know, men working a full-time job. So like your men, you know, driving Uber or Lyft to make extra income, you know, to feed their family, you know, just to have a little bit of extra squalor in our pocket. You know, we have to do certain things, you know, but we're not abusing this world. You know, you're not supposed to be a man of the truth abusing the world, just out, you know, just because you can, you know, just out and about making vain trips, you know, going to the club every Saturday. You in the club, or whatever day it is. You know, you got a different woman with you every time. You know, your output of the truth is not where it's supposed to be because you're so stuck or caught up in the world. You know, we're supposed to be in and out, man. You know, it says because it says for the fashion of this world passeth away. You know, that's really, you know, going into the missiles, man. You know, everything that's in America, you know, even the ways of how America, you know, is ran, you know, which is wicked, is going to pass away. You know, and the righteous are going to come into authority. You know, so we don't even want to be caught up, you know, into the ways that the world is ran, because really Esau being the ruler of the world as of now. You know, really, even in these other countries, you know, Esau really tries to rule or have dominance over the way that they rule their own countries. You know, and that's going to be one of the reasons why those 200 million missiles are going to be shot over here. You know, because they pissed everybody off. They've made the other nations mad. You know. I think that was all I wanted on that. This is Revelation 22:7. It says, "Behold, I come quickly," which is speaking about Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You know, even though, as linking up with 1 Corinthians the 7th chapter, it says, "Behold, I come quickly," meaning that the time is short. You know, we know that we're at the end, man. You can see the spirit, of this place getting sucked right out of it. Which I'm speaking about America. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the saying of the prophecy of this book." So our main focus, is supposed to be the prophecies of this book, man. That's supposed to be our main focus. Not carnal things, man. Trying to become a millionaire. Trying to be a top entrepreneur or whatever. That's not our main focus, man. Of course, money, the scriptures speak about money being in defense, but we're not supposed to try to be a top guy in America, man. Because ultimately, that, like I said before, that'll hinder your output of the truth, man. Because you'll be occupied, into other things, for lack of better terms. That's why we it said that's why Paul said, those that have a wife be as though they not even had one. Why? Because the woman, the scriptures speak about the woman. Woman being more bitter than death. Woman being a trap. Hey, these when we read scriptures, we have to put them into modern day times and think about them and realize how true they are, man. Not just read them and say and just on to the next precept. It says, "Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book," man. That's how we're going to be blessed, man. That being blessed is a part of receiving that salvation. By keeping the prophecy of the sayings of the prophecy of these books, man. So when we see, current events that's happening, speaking on missiles, the government, war, or you name it, the RFID microchip, which is heavy right now. Those are the things that we're supposed to be speaking on, man. We have to forsake certain things when we come into this truth. That's just how it is. I wanted to get this definition of the word focus. Because it's heavy. Because that when we come into the truth, our focus has to be higher, than what it was before. We can't get knocked off track, so to speak, man. It says focus, and now the center of interest or activity, which for us is prophecy, which I just read in Revelation 22:7. Prophecy is supposed to be the center of our interest, man. That's why when in group chats, brothers, post articles 24/7, man. Because prophecy is their main focus. Prophecy is real heavy right now, man. That's why the scriptures say, "Blessed is he that keepeth it." You know, because ultimately we're warning the people of what's going to happen. You know, it was that Ezekiel 9:4. You know, I can read this one too. It says the state or quality of having or producing clear visual definition. You know, and that really didn't go into it, but yeah, that one. So like, it says focus the center of interest or activity. You know, it's supposed to be our focus is supposed to be on prophecy, not a woman. Or your kids. Of course, you got to do what you have to do for your family. But the truth is supposed to be our main focus. And I'm gonna end off on this scripture. Revelation 1:3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So linking up with the other two scriptures, the scriptures say, "Blessed is he that readeth and hear the words of this prophecy," because ultimately, if you don't read, certain prophecies, that's happening. If you don't do a diligent study on certain things, certain prophecy that's happening in America, you wouldn't even know. That's why it's important to go. Brothers have been pushing lately. To go back and look at the older videos, man. You know, older videos of the apostles and elders. Because they spoke on the prophecies, man. Not saying that they aren't doing it now. It was just more in depth. Because the videos is already out there, man. You know, it says for the time is at hand, which is meaning, hey, we're at the end. So our focus has to be on another level as of now. Our focus has to be leveled up, man. Certain things that you did once before, you gotta put it off to the side, because the time is at hand. The time that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua will begin to visit the world, you know, and we don't want to be caught, with our pants down, saying that we didn't do enough for Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, So this is just a lesson that I wanted to do, through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I'm going to go ahead and close out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh.